My name is Ruben Chapa Jr. Grew up here in Roma, Texas. I've lived here basically most of my life with the exception of a couple of years. Graduated Rome High School in 1978.
Octavio Cantu, a 1977 graduate from Roma High School. Went to St. Edward's University, graduated in 1980 with a kinesiology degree and a minor in history.
My name is Gabriel Eugenio Recio. I graduated from Roma High School in 1970.
I started playing for him as a sophomore. I played in 1976. I was a starter. We didn't have any height. Basically, our center was, Joe Villarreal, he was like 6'1". You know, we always played teams that were bigger than us. But, you know, he knew how to move the pawns and, you know, get where he wanted to go, right?
I made the varsity team as a sophomore. I played 3 years for him. A very knowledgeable coach as far as the X's and O's. He would actually adjust to where if we were behind in a basketball game, he would actually find a way to get us into where we're going to be victorious, and he was very knowledgeable. It was awesome that the respect that we had for him made us play extremely, extremely hard, from the starters to the people that came in from the bench or substitute, and they were 110%. They would give it all. And so actually, when we talk about starters, your job was not, it could change from any time because of the attitude and the hustle. And these players wanted to play, and they had that pride, the Roma pride that even though some of our teams were not, we mentioned a while ago, we didn't have anybody that was like 6'3", 6'4", but we made it up with speed and shooting. That actually in 1976 got us to the Final Four of the state tournament.
First of all, Coach Garza came in and when I was a sophomore, he became the head coach, and ever since that time we have had winning teams with him. My first year, or my sophomore year with him, if I'm correct, we had a 15-15 record.
You know, back in that era, from the late 60s to the late 70s, there was a lot of talent in those teams. And it was up to him to move this talent around and fit it and have the team gel. Because talent by itself is not going to win you games. You need to, you know, make it work together. And he did that.
Yeah, well, actually, he was a quiet man during the first and second quarter. Different type of man in the dressing room at halftime.
He was very calm, collected, reserved, but there was a fire inside him. I mean, you could tell. Just very direct, serious, you know, all business.
He was very disciplined. You know, he would tell you what to do, and he expected you to go out there and do it. But he was also great to get along with.
He would go through all these things in practice that we were so drilled, and we would actually apply it in the game. But he would look at you when you would do something, good or bad. He would look at you and actually, I better step it up and put it in second gear so I can move it up. And we wanted to play for him.
He was very, very commanding. And what I mean by that was his words. No, it was his look. And you would just look at him, or he would look at you, and you knew you had a problem or you were in trouble. Yeah, it was that just look, that approach, that you knew that he needed something from you. So yeah, that was something to behold. He had a purpose, and he knew that purpose well. We went to state in '76. In the finals, we beat Van Vleck. I don't remember what the score was, but I think we beat them by like 10 or 11 points.
They had beaten, I think, Mathis the first game and by pretty much. And they thought, I mean, you're talking about a lineup of 6'6", 6'5", 6'3", 5'11", 5'10", and extremely, very athletic team. And then at the end, we were up like by 10, 12. They called a timeout and then decided to stay. They didn't come out. So the Roma crowd, it was packed. They started a countdown. We brought in the ball, held it, and they started a countdown. 12, and people we're going to state. And probably that's one of the highlights, that you make it to state, you're a different brand.
That feeling there, and I still carry it to this day, and I think any of the players that went through this, like the 72 team and the 76 team, you carry it with you. It never comes out of you. And I think that was just really the best situation that I had experienced as a team member.
The best memory that I have with Coach Garza was in 1969 when we won our first district championship. Nobody expected us to do anything. No team from Roma had ever done anything. But we came out, we lost one district game, which threw us into a playoff, and we were victorious in that playoff against La Feria at the Edinburgh High School gym. But that was probably the highlight, because no team ever in the history of Roma had ever won district championship. So that was a highlight. And then the following year, when I was a senior, we won, if I'm correctly, we won 31 games, which was unheard of at that time.
He was a friend, sometimes a parent, and he would guide us as far as don't do this, do that, and get to the next level. And I think because of basketball, wanted to play basketball would actually get me to the next level, which was college. And he was always emphasizing that this is very important.
The game itself and the way he taught us, the way he handled himself, the way he handled us, it's not just a game. You set goals, you have leadership, you practice teamwork. I think that benefited me a lot to where I'm at today, and he was a big part of that.
I always looked up to them, and hopefully one day maybe I'll be there coaching with them, alongside of them. And again, they were very influential in my life, not only as a coach, but as an individual, and that I would look up to. And if I remember correctly, Coach Garza won around 10 to 12 district championships in a row. So that's very, very unheard of. And it was all because of the hard work, him and the players that were under him.
I think it would be equivalent, if not better, an honor to him to have the gymnasium named after himself. Obviously, we named the gym floor several years ago, but I think having the gymnasium, it'll be obviously a much higher level. And you'd have to ask him, but I think it would be equivalent to probably his induction into the Hall of Fame that he was elected to. I think to have a gymnasium named after you is one of the ultimate, I think, recognitions, and he's very deserving of that, no doubt.
But as far as naming the gym, it's well deserved, and I think he made good things for Roma to actually be mentioned when we go out of town and said, you wear a shirt that says Roma, the first thing that comes to mind is basketball, because of him. And of course, players that gave it 110% and very proud. And when I spoke to him about the naming of the floor, he was extremely, extremely proud and all stuff. And he said, well, you deserve it. You got us to the next level.